let me just introduce you so everybody knows who you are here. Dr. Lennox is the Emeritus Professor of Mathematics at the University of Oxford. He's an Emeritus Fellow in Mathematics and the Philosophy of Science at Green Templeton College, Oxford. He holds doctorates in mathematics from the University of Cambridge, where as a student he attended the last lectures of C.S. Lewis, and from Cardiff University, as well as a third doctorate by incorporation from the University of Oxford. He famously debated leading atheist Richard Dawkins in 2008-2009, Christopher Hitchens in 2008 and 2010, and Peter Singer in 2011. He's the author of over 70 mathematical papers and 2 research-level algebra texts, as well as a dozen books, including most recently 2084, Artificial Intelligence and the Future of Humanity, which we have on sale outside of the bookstall. Can Science Explain Everything from 2019, Have No Fear, Being Salt and Light, Even When It's Costly from 2018. And finally, God's Undertaker, Has Science Buried God from 2009, in addition to several other publications I haven't mentioned. Dr. Lennox, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us and for your patience on these technical issues.
It's a great pleasure to be with you all, and now I can see you all. So hi to you all from a freezing cold Oxford, and thank you so much for inviting me to your conference. Just one little correction, if I make. God's Undertaker was replaced 2 weeks ago by a much fuller, much more up-to-date book called Cosmic Chemistry, Do God and Science Mix? And I think many young people may find that a very good guide to the debate today.
Do we have that echo figured out? Thank you, Dr. Lennox, for that correction. You've given talks at major universities around the world on subjects as wide-ranging as whether God is fact or fiction, whether science can explain everything, whether science has buried God, whether there's anything worth believing in, the logic of Christianity, science and faith, and you've engaged in these high-profile debates that we just went over. This is not exactly what someone does to enhance their academic and professional standing in the world. Why do you do these things?
Well, the reason I do them, and your question is very important, is that if someone doesn't enter into the public space, unfortunately, the dominance of atheistic thinking, particularly in the academy, but not only there, is such that they will simply take the floor by default. And I feel as a believer that I'm called upon to defend the Christian faith, as Paul did, in the public square so that people can hear the other side. In my country, they often only hear one side, and that is the atheistic side. And so I felt very much many years ago, as a teenager, that God was calling me to enter the academy, but to stand for him. And of course, it doesn't necessarily make you popular, but my objective is twofold. First of all, to encourage my fellow believers that they too can stand, to furnish them with arguments that they can understand and use. And that's why I wrote the book, Can Science Explain Everything? And secondly, to show to the world outside that Christianity has got a rational base, it is truth, and that there are strong reasons for believing that Jesus is the Son of God. And I've been doing that essentially since I started university, if not before.
Fantastic. That is wonderful. And I know I have been greatly impacted by your writings, and I'm sure many others here have as well. What motivated you to take on artificial intelligence in this latest book, 2084?
Well, again, another important question. I was asked by some Christians to give a talk to a conference of Christian leaders in London on AI